And welcome back to The Nose Plays Thea to the Shattering. We are going to pick up with our 11th video in this series, following the Chosen of Stribog. When we last left off, we had just finished gathering all of the materials that we needed to build our ship. This is a pretty good ship, 3 out of 5 essence bars filled. We're going to get a pretty decent movement, a very good weight capacity, some increased line of sight, and so this is going to be our new home base, and we're going to use it to best effect by moving around to different islands and looking for new adventures far, far away from vampires. We don't have a lot else going on, but the main thing that I need to do for sure is I cannot break camp once I start building this. This is one of the things that really messed me over. If you start construction, if this bar starts to fill up, it consumes the resources. And if you break camp before you finish, you lose all of the progress that you've made up to that point. So we're going to have to be very careful not to do that again. That being said, this is actually a pretty good spot to kind of be stuck here in. We've got a lot of materials around us, so we've got lots of opportunities for other characters to be gathering. And I can actually break a couple of them off into different parties to go collect other items if I wanted to. For example, we might want to go collect some herbs, or maybe some topaz, or maybe some fish. But yeah, we're basically, I'm just going to try and grind out 10 turns really quick here. I thought about doing this off camera, but I decided to go ahead and do it on camera. So let's get this underway. Okay, one of our children have already grown up, and this is the one that we were hoping would become a witch. She has a really high mysticism score, and she's in possession of a cat. So we're going to send her off to begin trials as a witch, and we were successful. So now we have a really interesting purple-focused class character. We'll have to look at see what kind of equipment we can put on her. Winter time has just begun. This is a problem. Gathering food and crafting resources is more difficult. That's going to be problematic because it's probably, yeah, it added 2 turns. So not catastrophic, but it did add 2 turns to the total build time of this ship, which is unfortunate. We do have a fairly high chance of making a trash ship as well, which sucks, but alright, and then my gatherers, I can probably move them off of some of these materials and onto some of these other ones. Wood's become a little harder to gather. We could put somebody on steel. Let's take a look at what everybody's doing. So most of my characters are doing something with dark wood. We can take these guys off of that. Maybe we could do some terrain research. Research would be really good since we have a lot of turns that we're going to be stuck here. And she's actually pretty good at it, but let's get her outfitted with better equipment. So I think one of these increased research, right? This one here, yeah. 2.9 increased research. Let's throw that tool on her for now. And then we can equip her with this armor. And I don't think we had any jewelry that was of any real importance for her. Weapon block. Weapon block. I mean, we could throw that on her. That'll give her little bit more shielding in case she has to do some heavy lifting in a purple fight. Stat-wise, she's pretty reasonable in wisdom and intelligence, really high in mysticism, and decent in destiny. This is a wisdom destiny. I really want a mysticism, and this is the only mysticism item we have, and it's kind of a junk item. We should consider maybe learning to craft a better scroll or book or something. Alright, is there anything else that I want to do right this second? I don't think so. Yeah, we'll leave the cat on her for now. I'm really happy that we managed to get that witch. That's something we've been trying for a long time now. But I do want to get some research done, so let's get our best characters on research over here. Yeah, he's really good on research. So we'll put these two guys on research. That's going to take 6 turns. We should be able to get maybe 1 or 2 of these done, and that'll give us 30 research points, which will give us a lot more advancement points, which is nice. And then this character isn't really doing anything. We don't have any cooking we can do we? No, because we don't have any meat. Or vegetables, for that matter. What is our food situation even like? Yeah, we have lots of food, but we're not in... We don't have a lot of variety, unfortunately. I'm going to go ahead and enable that to be eaten. We got plenty of wood. We're burning 2 wood per turn during the winter time, but we're going to be gathering more than that, so I'm not really that concerned about it. Oh dear. Well, we didn't actually lose all of our resources. I'm not sure why I lost them in the past. But we did accidentally start over. That kind of sucks. I accidentally misclicked on the campfire instead of the equipment button. Well done. Well, I was pretty devastated for a moment there because I thought we were going to lose all that wood. Fortunately, we did not. So let's go back here. Let's get the 2 best researchers going on that. Go back to gathering and get somebody on that. Let's see, get those people there. She can get that every 2 turns. And we can get a little bit more steel. That's probably good since I don't have any other things I can gather right now. The only other thing I could do is maybe send a small party out to collect fish, which would give us a few things that we could cook, but we don't really have berries. We have herbs though. Maybe we could do that. Alright, so if I wanted, say, you, and you, we'll send you guys out into a separate party. Yeah. Go ahead and make a separate party. 1 warrior, 1 hunter, 1 child. We'll take like half the wood. And then food-wise, we'll take like 30 of this. them over here. Set up camp and start gathering fish and wood. And they should be able to do that indefinitely for a period of time. Do they not have the ability to gather stone from here? They should be able to gather this steel. That's kind of bizarre. Because we can gather this and this. I don't know why we can't gather that. Maybe because somebody over here is already gathering it? No. I'm not sure. That's kind of weird. Alright, well, let's start over. 13 turns. The day is clear, yet suddenly before you hangs a singular dark patch of thundering clouds. It's moving fast, but it will not cross your path. Seems interesting. Investigate from a safe distance. We've done this guy so many times. Speak to the creature. Heal the creature. Alright, so we'll run into him again. Snowstorm. Good thing we're not going to be moving for a few turns. You find the remains of a non-human settlement deep in the forest. Investigate. While searching the remains of a goblin settlement, you realize a pack of wild boars occupies one of the largest remaining huts. We're going to go on a hunt. You stalk the boars and wait for the perfect chance to pick off the weakest ones first, then strike down the rest. Attack the weakened pack. This might give us some meat, which we could use. Garbage armor. And some elven wood, which is actually pretty valuable. Suit of medium armor. Nothing too exciting. We're going to save that for later. Okay, this character is a child that we have not put any points into yet. We just started a mysticism character. I don't think we need 2 of them, and male children can't become witches. And as far as I know, they don't have a similar class. But we could go intelligence. Maybe make this guy like our lead researcher. See if we can get a couple points into intelligence. And then this is our warrior. Warriors always benefit from strength, so we'll just throw that on her. Got that terrain research done. We should check. These guys don't have a lot else to do, so we could continue to do that. However, I could... These are like our 2 worst gatherers, so it doesn't really make sense to pull them over here either. So we'll just leave them like this. They'll just do a small amount of research over the next few turns. And then we're just going to keep collecting a big pile of fish for now. One thing that I could... Well, I didn't bring any of the herbs with us, though, so I can't do any cooking over here. We'll just have to wait. That should put us about a little more than halfway towards our boat. We're 5 turns away now. Take a closer look at... Yes. So we've got some interesting stuff going on. There are skulls, bones, and sigils marked in old blood. You suspect black magic is practiced here. This is not a sign of evil in and of itself, but it can certainly bring misfortune and danger. Politely refuse their hospitality. They give us a whole bunch of food, which is actually really helpful. There's actually not large quantities here, but it will give us a very large boost to our morale for a few turns until we consume it all. And that is super helpful. We also come across a house. Sneak up and investigate. Inside the hut, we see an old woman. We have a witch. We could go talk to her. She says, if you are what I think you are, then prove it. Perform a simple bone reading ritual. We can do that. Tell the woman that a dark, handsome stranger will come to her door soon. We got a permanent point in destiny on our witch. Having a witch unlocks all kinds of potential in these types of events. Ha, good one. Well met, sister. Now, for strangers, I'd play a game of deals and trades and trickery. But for you, I offer an honest trade between sisters. Or, I can teach you some rituals and give you some herbs. But I need some of your spirit energy in exchange. I don't know that there's a whole lot we would want to trade with her. Learning some rituals sounds cool. Let's do that. So we lost a little bit of our faith, but we actually gained +2 rituals and +1 mysticism, and we got 26 herbs. All good stuff. The faith will regenerate. Purple stats for her. Strength for him. He's getting incredibly strong. Do we need any more points in perception? I don't think we do. His Hunter's Mark does improve on perception, but I'm not so sure how often we're going to use Hunter's Mark. It is the only ability he has. For 2 points, though, if it were 1 and 1, I would probably take the perception just to keep it a little more even. But for this, I think I'm going to go with the strength. Okay, we'll gather one more turn with these guys, and then we're going to send them back. What else did I need to check here? The research is being done. We can design this. Make it a favorite so that it's over here. We'll add it. I think we ate up all the berries. We actually could make some more spiced meat, but I'd rather save my herbs, I think, for the... we have tons of the spiced grilled meat. We need some grilled fish. Alright, last turn of this. This party can now break camp and head back. Actually, we're not able to head back quite yet. So we'll move to there. You see dark clouds approaching at an oddly high speed. Scout ahead. You notice that it's a flock of crows heading your way, but they are not behaving naturally. They do not follow the wind currents, instead moving through the sky like silence. You feel an odd burning sensation from your domain, an unnatural pull towards the light. So now that we have good characters with purple, we can actually accomplish this. And this is part of our domain, so anytime we have this option, I think we should try to do it. Auto-resolve, That gets us some more spiritual blessing on everybody. Good stuff. Settlement marked on our map. Ah, okay. They popped up right here. Well, let's go do this first. Rejoin the group. And now we can cook some fish. Who are my better cooks? We can pull you off to cook. I'll leave you on research, and we'll pull you off to cook. And then we'll get over here and put her on gathering wood. And these two on gathering wood. That's probably good. Chosen leveled up. Reliable arguments. This is actually a skill that we're really good at, and we should probably continue to increase it. We're up to 21 points of damage per attack with it. Alright, we're getting close to finishing our boat. We did finish our boat. And now, let's go check it out in our inventory and see if we got a good one. We did. We didn't get a trash one, so that 22% chance didn't roll. We got a good boat. We are good to go now. This boat has 10,000 carrying capacity. That's more than what we can carry currently, which is good. We also have a raft that can carry 3,000. And so if we're out to sea and we want to send a scouting party in, we can actually send them in with the raft. Which is cool, which is why I'm not going to destroy the raft. Alright, let's break camp and let's get to moving. We get double XP during the winter for events, so we should... Overburdened group alerts. Who is overburdened? Let's go to equipment. Somebody has more equipment than they can carry. I don't see who that would be. Nobody in our group seems overburdened. Whose movement is overburdened? She's the only one that is even close to her carrying capacity. But she's not overburdened, clearly. I'm not really sure why that's still there. Maybe it'll go away after this turn. Let's go check out the Vol curse. You see a small hamlet assailed by the unliving. Help them out and attack the unliving. We're very good at fighting unliving. Been doing it for a while now. Ooh, some dragon bone. That's pretty solid. We got a steel sword and an iron sword. I think the steel sword could go on one of our other characters. Some crafting materials, some mushrooms, which will help with our food problems. Ask the villagers what happened here. It was our boy Ivan. He was born with the dark magic. Okay, I've seen this quest before. He basically is run off to another island, and we have to hunt him down. Where's the boy now? He's gone off to the Goblin Island. So we may run into this character on the Goblin Island if we end up over there. Ooh, a bunch of food. That actually is really good. Okay. It's still saying that somebody is overburdened. But last time we were overburdened, it clearly showed... It clearly showed that the person was in red over here. I don't see who it is. Like, her, she's not overburdened, even close to it. She's the only one that's not getting a bonus, though. Everybody else is getting a bonus. That's very weird. I don't know. Is she cursed or something? Nobody seems to be cursed. Very confusing. I am going to go ahead and put this steel sword on our chosen. And he can't carry a shield yet. Yeah, nobody's overburdened. Click to open the affected group's inventory. Oh, our whole group is overburdened now because we have all this stuff. I see. Okay. Well, I thought it was an individual, but I was being silly. I thought I looked at this number earlier and we were way lower than that. Okay, we need to get rid of some stuff. We have a lot of wood. Let's sort by weight. What's the heaviest thing that we're carrying? A great iron sword. We can probably break that down. Yeah, all these great weapons are very heavy. Some of this armor's pretty heavy. We've got a lot of these swords. Let's go ahead and recycle a bunch of this. How does that do? We're like right on the edge here. We got better armor than all of these. So let's go ahead and trash all those. Amber crossbow's pretty garbage. The bone wand we can trash. Keep the leather robes for now. There we go. That got us underneath. Now we're a little bit better off. Okay, we have 2 more quests that we need to grab. This one. The vermin nest that we came across earlier. Dominate the vermin and make them leave. We could use our witch to complete this, or our hunter. Let's go ahead and use our witch. She's very good at this kind of thing, and we get a whole bunch of meat, which we can use. And then we still have a little bit of movement to get down towards this one. Food's up to 43, so we're doing really good on food. This character has leveled up. Good luck. Actually, putting luck on a child is probably pretty good. It helps them roll better character classes, so we're going to go ahead and add the luck for now. And then Seska, our witch, gets the ability to rain frogs. That's quite interesting. Huh. And it actually does really good damage too. Look at that. Yeah, let's take rain frogs. That sounds like a very rich thing to have. We got some movement, so we can get to this. As you explore, you notice a long dead humanoid remains. They look larger than human, possibly orcish. Leave the bones and continue to search for loot. Bury the bodies out of respect. Leave the place out. We'll go ahead and bury the bodies. You bury the bodies according to your custom, and no unliving rise to kill you. So you likely did well. Continue to search for anything useful. We found a master-crafted clay battle axe. It's actually pretty high stats on that. And some more furs and leathers. And we're overburdened again. Who would have thunk? Alright, we've got way too much wood. I'm carrying all different kinds of wood here. We don't need this much regular wood. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop like half of our wood into Expedition 2. This will actually allow you to drop a cache of supplies on a tile, and we can actually come back and pick this cache up. One thing I'm not sure of though is if wandering monsters might come by and destroy our cache and take it out since nobody's defending it. I think that's possible, but you'll see them marked on the map by crates and bags, so we can actually leave this tile, leave all that stuff there, and come back to it later. Alright, let's kind of zoom out a little bit and see. There is a tile over here. I'm fairly certain that is the spider hut, and then we have a couple of quests over here, so let's go ahead and plan on getting our boat into the water here. I can only move one, so we'll move to there. We're leveling up quite quickly. That's good. She's a pretty well-rounded character. None of these are actually very useful for her. I guess we might as well take the 2 points since all the rest of them are pretty mediocre. The witch. The witch has a couple points in gathering and a couple points in craftsman. She's actually not a witch. She's a craftsman. We wanted her to become a witch. We'll just keep going with the gathering. And then she's going to go with the combat skill because she's one of our leading combat heroes. And now we should be able to get into the water. We have a movement of 5, so we can move 4 and into our ship. Let's take a look at this thing. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Pretty nice. Now from this, we should be able to do gathering and all kinds of stuff, which is really cool. We don't actually have to set up camp. I'm not sure if we consume wood every turn while we're using this. It kind of shows a campfire, so I'm assuming that it kind of counts as a village and it's always consuming wood. Actually, let's just take a peek at our inventory. We're at 54 wood. When we end our turn, if we lose wood, we did. So yeah, it does count as a village, so we basically have to constantly keep a supply of wood on this thing. If we run out of wood, it's not the end of the world, it just means that we're unable to gather or heal more effectively, I believe. Alright, we wanted to sail over here to the defined path, and we have a movement of 6 right now, so we can definitely get that done. The other nice thing about this sailing ship is it has an improved vision range, so we can see a lot better, and we can see that this side of the map has been overrun by what looks like possums and boars. Those are werewolves, rabid bears, boar's lair. We can get a bunch of bonus XP and other things from jumping over here, so let's go ahead and make landfall and see what happens. Alright, first things first, let's go take out the Boar's Lair. Clear that easy enough. The Divine Path looks like it's right here. We can make it to that tile as well. Alright, a sudden blizzard engulfs you in its icy clutches. Use some of your wood supply to quickly strengthen your shelter or try to push through it. Let's do this. Okay. The blizzard also uncovered a small supply of minerals, some granite, and she got 3 points permanently added to crafting. That is really good. Gather the minerals and leave.
A strange crow marked this place on the map and said you would find divine truth here. But when you approach, all you see is the stump of an ancient oak, hollow and forlorn. Beside it, you see a bustling of light swirling in and out, trying to carve its way inside, but unable to break through. Some of these light creatures look humanoid. They may be lightbringers, although they seem to be acting much livelier and more chaotic than the ones you've come across so far.
Let's approach carefully.
One of the light creatures turns to you. It is the husk of an older human, but his hair is burnt and light escapes through every orifice. His presence is blinding. I sense you are made of this tree. Perhaps you can aid us in breaking it.
That doesn't sound like something I would want to do. This is the Harmony quest. Alright, so our options are ask who they are first, they seem slightly different than the Lightbringers, or you sense the overwhelming power of this light, it calls even to you, promising harmony, but you know this to be a lie. Open yourself up to your domain and try to show the truth to these Lightbringers. Let's go ahead and try this and see how strong our witch really is. These are pretty dangerous things. But actually, we're able to do this pretty easily now that we have
You open yourself up to the light
purple
through your love for harmony and through it to face the Lightbringers.
That's good.
Your will and the power of the true light that you serve overwhelm them. Sadly, most of them perish, as if the unnatural link to the light mind was their only remaining life force. One remains, weakened, but flickering with a more familiar warmth.
So our witch took a small amount of faith damage, but our chosen actually got 4 points of stats, 2 to destiny and 2 to mysticism, so that seems like a really good choice.
I am alone, and yet this light you showed me, dirty, ever entwined with darkness, but so, I don't know how to speak of it. Thank you, I think.
Ask them why they want to destroy the tree.
I do not know. I feel a faint imprint of us, but it is fleeting. The light in the earth is strong, burning, trying to come out so badly, but it cannot. The earth holds it still. Oh yes, here, this tree, a root of one you call Mokosh. Earth Mother, Tree Sister. Bad. Bad. There is another such root, bigger, stronger. We were to go there too, destroy it all. I must leave, find my own way.
Okay, so this is interesting. I haven't actually seen this part of the quest before. I've completed this portion of the quest, but I used a different path, so this is all new dialogue for me.
No, I must not. You have a path to walk. I am unlinked now, but they may take me again. I will go. Hide. The light moves away. Go, find the big root. Earth Mother smells like you, too. Maybe there you will find the answers you seek.
Alright, let's check on the tree.
The tree stump is scorched and bruised, but you see fresh vines of greenery growing on it and giving it renewed life. As you come closer, you feel the touch of the divine upon you, and a call that beckons you to find another such place in the lands of the ancient forest.
Alright, so we need to go to the lands of the ancient forest. That's going to be the Elven Island, I'm pretty sure. That might be something we do now that we have a very nice ship to get us over there. But there is something else I wanted to do, and I'm not sure if we're going to have time to do it in this video. But if we zoom in on our mini-map over here, you can see we've spent a lot of time in this upper portion of the island. Ooh. Come back. But there's still portions of the southern end of the island, and also there's a whole nother little mini island off to the side here that we haven't even explored at all. At one point in time, I was contemplating getting our boat made and then putting our village over there, but since we ended up using our first cosmic seed, that is out of the question until we get a second one. So right now, my primary goal or objective, that we got our boat finished, since we're in wintertime, and wintertime adds extra XP for all characters during events, we want to try to encounter as many events over here as possible. So we're going to spend some time on land. We need to keep an eye out on our food and also our wood. We have plenty of wood, but we only have 19 turns worth of basic wood. So if we don't want to burn any of our good elven wood or dryad wood, we're going to have to pick up some more of this occasionally. One thing we can do is anytime we're out of movement points, if we're next to a wood deposit like this, we can temporarily set up camp, put our 2 best gatherers on that, and then research. We might... we're just shy. We're getting close to being able to do this in 1 turn. Once we can do this in 1 turn, we can start to trickle these points in every time we stop, and that's pretty helpful. The other thing we could get done right now is we could do a little bit of cooking. We got some mushrooms. Probably don't need both of those on there, and we've got plenty of that, but we could cook some more grilled fish. So let's do that for now. And that's probably good for this turn. We're only going to be here for 1 turn, so we do need to watch out for these. These are just humans, but since we aren't really super friendly with the humans yet, they may still interact with us in negative ways. This character could get better at gathering. I think this is our last point in gathering. We could also get our last point in showing off, which is a pretty good yellow combat skill for him. I guess we'll go for the gathering. She's gonna take the point in mysticism. She's gonna take counterattack is an intelligence-based skill. Her intelligence is pretty pathetic. Parry just gives her extra shielding. I like that. The child. We took 1 point in intelligence last time. We could take 2 points in wisdom and maybe make this a healer, or we could take 1 point in intelligence. Let's get to 4 points of intelligence. That will give us a pretty decent chance to roll a good skill. I think healers use intelligence, if I'm not mistaken. Healers or Zerkas. He could become one of those 2. Alright, we got quite a bit of fish, but we don't really need to stick around here anymore. We're going to break camp and head over to that. Or do we want to head down to this one? Let's just go pick a fight with these boars first. This is just a real easy way to gather stuff and get experience. We're not next to anything, so we can't gather anything, so we'll just end it. turn. Big Daddy Boar's going down. Getting a lot of experience. There's another Boar Slayer over here. We could just go clear that out real quick. Yeah, we haven't uncovered all this down here. We'll have to keep an eye on our... We're getting really close to maxing out our weight capacity again. There's the Wolf Slayer. I guess we haven't covered most of this, just this very tip down here we didn't get to. Ooh, let's resolve this one manually. Alright, so now we get to do some real combat, and hopefully we do better than the last time I tried this. So he puts the boar in the corner. He's got an 11 seconds, and he has a line attack. My best attack is going to be 25 damage. Let's see what she has, actually. So she can summon rats. We can summon up to 2 rats. We can summon frogs. So this damages all units on the battlefield except for the caster. So this is an ability that we would only want to cast if she's kind of by herself. And then Random Blast just deals 8 damage, randomly attacks 1 target for 8. It's actually not very good, but that's because she's doing that for that. The rats might be worthwhile though. We'll see. Okay, so for our first play, I want to put her down, and I'll put her down right here with her 25 damage attack, and then she's got a sweeping attack that will hit these 2 tiles, and she's got enough armor that she can handle a single attack if they do position somebody in front of her. Okay, so he moved 1 here. This one is going off at 8 seconds. Really? That is a much faster boar. Oh, it's because he's not using a line attack. This is just a straight attack, this is a line attack. So this one will have vertical splash, this is a single target. This is a perfect time to lay this guy down. And he's got his elemental sword, which does extra damage to an enemy that has armor on it. So we'll put him there. And then our chosen, he just has a single target sword attack. But I don't want to put him out, at least not yet. Maybe we can throw our caster out. We could slow down their attacks. That might be beneficial. How much damage do we have total? So we got 20, 30, 40, 55. We're very close to being able to kill this thing with the 3 characters we have out. I think I'm gonna wait. Do I have a fast attack? His attack is pretty quick. Okay, he's saving his points He's going to have 4 points next turn. So he's going to be able to put out a lot of stuff. I think we're going to save our points and do the same thing. Alright, so he was only able to get one more copy of the same card out, which is fine. Now we can play this card, and if we play it here, this should increase the delay of both of those. So that they go after all of our characters do. And then I can play summon rats. And I can put the rats in those 2 squares to ensure that even if they do go off, they're not going to damage our heroes. And then I have 1 point left. The Chosen could summon a spider. Sure, let's put a spider there. Alright. Let's see how the battle plays out. So the rat's are going to go first, followed by the spiders. And then all of our characters get to go. And that should kill the boar before it even gets to make an action. Splash damage just about kills it, and last arrow. And our warrior didn't even need to go. Somehow she got hurt. Oh, that's right. Casting undead summons actually deals damage to your health. So yeah, she takes a little bit of damage every time she casts the rats. Still, pretty good result overall. And we're overburdened again. This character has 2 points in crafting and 2 points in gathering. She is primarily a gatherer, so throw that on her. Intelligence and destiny. I'm tempted to grab the point in wit, just so that she has faster actions. And plus 2 wit's actually pretty solid for a combat-based character. Characters who don't get put into combat very often don't benefit from wits as much. And then this is our child who we're hoping maybe becomes like a healer or something. So we could give him gathering, or I could give him the hurry up spell. I kind of liked the idea of putting him in the hurry up spell. We're probably going to try to focus him on research, so he'll be doing a lot of research. He won't be doing as much gathering anyways. And we have to figure out what we're going to do with our overburdened group once again. I guess the easiest decision we can make is if we're going to keep this two-handed axe or not. It's got really high stats. Is there anything else? Sort by weight. Obviously our ship is very heavy. One thing that I haven't considered trying is leaving the ship in the water, but I'm afraid if I leave it in the water unattended, that one of those fish or eels or something will come and attack it. What does this look like? This is way more damage. Holy moly. 30 points of damage? Okay, I think I have a plan for this. Let's throw this on her. Let's take this greatsword and let's see if, yeah, it's light enough because we made it a bone. We made it of really light materials that he can use it, and that's actually better because it gives some shielding. More shielding than this, I think. Not by much, but better damage. Yeah, slightly. And then we can probably just break this one down. How does it compare to his? So the damage is slightly better, but the effects are not as good. And it doesn't have the swipe attack. So, yeah, not as good. But we can then break this. And that should put us just under the limit again. Okay. How much movement do we have? We can go clear this wolf's lair. And then maybe head back over here. Grab that. I think maybe we'll just go this way. We'll save the wolf lair for another time. Let's scout. So we have all kinds of options here. We haven't done very many of these purple ones, but I think it's worth our time to mess around with them. See if we get some different kinds of results. The one thing I'm noticing is by doing these purple things, we're getting a lot of these purple spiritual blessings. So these concept challenges perhaps tend to add blessings based on their color type. We did find an elven shield, and we're overburdened again. This is made of elven wood and monster bone. It only has 11 shielding, but it's really light. This has 21 shielding and is not as light, but he's the only character that's really using a one-handed weapon right now, so sort by weight. What do we have that I can maybe... we're just constantly tearing through our gear here. Yeah, we're running out of gear that we can actually do anything with. I can drop that. That puts us below. Sandstone's pretty lame. It's the lowest tier stone that we have, and we don't really use stone for a lot anyways. Alright, so that gives us 2 movement. Which gets us over here. There's another quest marker over here that we should get to. And there's a bunch of wild animals that we can clear out in the process. And we're approaching an hour here, so we're probably not going to be playing too much longer tonight. We are getting a lot of our tasks done that we wanted to. Okay, we recognize this one. Try and help it again. Ask what's happening here. The deal you made, in that case, kill the fiend. Let's see if we kill it this time, what happens. Last time we freed it, it just started coming back and doing this whole quest line again. Alright, well that actually gave us some free points of faith. And we got some experience for it, so must have been the right decision. Okay, we can talk to these humans, try and convince them that we're friends, and we gain a little bit of nut tint cure, and some faction loyalty, and some research materials, which are actually pretty helpful. Does it make sense to set up camp here? Do you have a few minor injuries? We've got 7 points that we can put down. Poison Dust. An intelligence-based swipe attack that is used in red and purple events and does poison damage. 4 battle orders, level 2. I like battle orders a lot. It's a really good spell. Let's see. Yeah, she's got some minor wounds. He's got some minor wounds. Probably not a big deal to camp for a couple of turns, but... Alright, so he did grow up, and intelligence is the healer, so that's the one I wanted. So let's go ahead and go with that. And we got a healer. I think we have to go for the 2 points in wisdom. This guy could just get tougher, but I actually do like Hunter's Mark quite a bit. And she can get more wisdom as well, because that helps with crafting quite a bit. And she is my secondary craftsman. Okay, we find some fog, some ancient ruins, a black mist, call upon light and harmony to protect us, or you have skilled wise ones with you, battle the force of dark with your spirit. We can definitely do that now. You defeat the darkness and can now attempt to siphon its power. We don't need any more loot, so I would rather grab that. Unfortunately, that gave us a curse, and we got some crappy loot. Okay. We might want to perform a curse removal at some point. Let me just double check here. If I wanted to do a curse removal, it's going to take a lot of gems or a lot of mushrooms. Neither of those we have much of. We do have a small supply of herbs, which is nice, but we're gonna have to find some gems. And I just don't see any gems over here. You can see those are the supplies we dropped off earlier. This is actually where we started, like right over here. In order to get rid of that curse, we're going to have to find gems, essentially. That means maybe it's time to get back in our boat. How much movement we have? 4? We can get to that tile, and then embark into the water. And we'll finish scouting the rest of this island and see if there is any gems down here. We should have pretty good movement. Our max capacity is 1,300. That is amazing. Well, I wonder why it's so much higher. It should only be 10,000. We must benefit from the carry capacity of our gathering tools, even when we're on our ship. Alright, so we have a total movement of 6 points. This will be 5. I don't see any gems so far. let's cut across here and finish uncovering this tile, or this portion of the starting landmass. Sea movement is 2 extra points now, that's good. We found silver, iron, and silver. You spot a shipwreck sitting atop some rocks. Investigate. Observe. You spot unnatural movement aboard. The unliving likely haunt this ship. We'll use our magic users to deal with it. Ooh. I will accept the outcome. Got some more dragon bone. A spiritual blessing, and a bunch of dryad wood, and a bunch of nut. Alright, yeah, this is pretty good overall. And it didn't look like we took any injuries, so I'm not sure. Let's just double check our characters. A couple people have minor faith injuries, but that also might be because of the wind. We're going to start taking damage because of the wind. Alright, well, we have sailed pretty much the entirety of this part of the island, and I still see almost no gems on the southern region. There is some gems up here, the malachite that we were farming earlier, but yeah, we're sort of running out of time, so... Lightbringer village, which I'm not too fond of being near. And that pretty much uncovers everything that we can see over here. There are 2 terrain artifacts right by the Lightbringer village, but they're not ones that I'm willing to mess with right now. So we're going to sail back the other way. And we're going to try and get over here and uncover this last portion of the other island, and then we'll call it good. We're on turn 8. We can actually do some gathering here. Not a lot, but some. So let's get our 2 best gatherers on that. And actually, we should probably have 2 people on research at all times while we're out to sea. That being said, I want to re-equip this kid. And we're going to give him this tool, which gives research points. And then he is, let's see, he is an intelligence-based character. His destiny and his mysticism actually are low, but I think that has to do with the curse that we're dealing with. Javelins are wisdom-based. We don't even have an item for him to use right now. We might have to craft one. What could we craft real quick? So, wands are destiny based. Like if I just did that. Yeah, this is a destiny based attack. That's not going to be very good on him at all. So we need to learn a new type of thing. We've got tons of ones here. Let's go ahead and learn scrolls. And then we've got the option of the two-handed scroll or the one-handed scroll. I'm not sure. Let's go check the building and see what the difference is. So these are made from gems as well. And then I can use leather or bones. We have just barely enough. Oh, we're at 8. Yeah, we don't have enough dragon bone. Oh, that would have been good. Maybe I can get dragon bone. I've got quite a bit of this wild leather. This is a mysticism-based ability. What about the two-handed book? Like triad wood and bone. Ah, here we go. Here's an intelligence-based attack. Okay. Does changing the type of bone or leather have any impact on what spells there are? Or does it just change? Yeah, so it's always the same. But this is what we want to build. We want to build a two-handed book. Okay. So we've got leather, bone, and wood. I think we should definitely use the dryad wood. And then, of the two types of leather I have, I've got furs, or I've got enchanted leather. So what's the difference in stats between that one and that one? 1.0, 1.4, 1.5. Yeah, it's a very minor difference, but a significantly higher chance of trash. And then the other option would be like bones. We could throw like monster bone. Not as good. So the leather is actually better? Or about the same? It's actually about the same. Let's go ahead and get this crafted. It'll take us 2 turns to craft that. Now one thing that I want to see is, can we move our ship in between without having to break camp? Because we're basically always camped, right? So if I end this turn here, he leveled up. Boy, talk about skills that aren't very useful. We'll go ahead and give him some strength just so he can carry a little bit heavier stuff and have better carrying capacity. Okay, so if I look here, they're still crafting that book. I can move, and I don't have to redo my crafting, do I? No, that's exactly what I wanted. So now we can actually do all of our crafting at sea and continue to move around. We're not stuck in one place. That's really awesome. So this is a really cool upgrade to our life. This is going to be a good item for him. We're going to need to craft him some armor while we're at it. And we still need to get rid of that curse. But some light leather robes, I think, are the ones that we want. And we have a number of different types of leather that we can use. We could also use bone. Maybe something like that. Gives 12 shielding. That's a pretty high chance of trash, though. I think this is going to be the best armor that we can make right here. And then if we wanted to make it slightly better, we could do that. But that increases the trash chance significantly. But it is 13 points of shielding in all types of combats. It's also pretty light. This would be slightly lighter, but 3 points less. Let's go ahead and use up some of this leather. So let's try and make a couple suits of this. And I want to make at least 2 sets of this. So we have our book made. Let's get that equipped in the hands of the person who needs it. Let's go to the equipment page. And now he's got a reasonable attack. Ice Spike will do about 15 points of damage. That's not terrible at all. And then these robes we can probably just trash now that we're making better ones. This suit of mail we'll keep for now. I don't know what we're going to do with it exactly. And this crappy gathering tools are going to be saved for children. They're decent for children, they're not so good for anybody else. This bow we can trash. These javelins are pretty good, but we don't have anybody who is a wisdom / perception based character, and so because of that we're sort of stuck with nobody that can use them, but that's okay. We got some more movement. If I move to this tile I can gather fish and seaweed this turn. We actually have 1 point of movement left, but I think we'll just stay here and do some gathering. So we can put like that. And then you definitely have some food we can cook. Let's cook. Ooh, I need to save my herbs though. Well, we can at least cook that. That'll give us something. Just 1 more food type at least. And I should add that to favorites because we'll probably be cooking this fairly frequently. So this will pop up from time to time. Alright, and then we should have that shirt done. Looks like next turn? Yeah. Okay, they're working on it. Ah, there's what we're looking for, amber. We need to farm some crystals. We are very close to being able to do that. Alright, we got that. We got the fish. We now have this completed so we can equip him with it. And then this one is a 10 versus the 13. And we have 2 characters wearing those, so we should probably make 2 more of those. So if we go back to the crafting page real quick, we can just add 1 more of these to that total. 2 here. Alright, and then we're going to want to make a party of gatherers. So let's see. Let's get 2 of my gatherers, my hunter, and my warrior. We'll leave the rest of these folks on board. Let's see, he was doing research. So we're gonna have to pull him off of research. We could leave him on research and pull her instead. Let's do that. So we'll pull her as the warrior and put him back on research. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. There we go. That's what I want to see. Actually, let's pull him off of cooking. And let's equip him. That. And put him on cooking. There we go. Okay, and then we have a party that can move. This party needs turns of food, and we'll take like half the wood. Oh, we're out of movement. Alright, well, we'll just wait for a second. Let me double check. Yes, Expedition 2 is the group I want. Expedition 2 is the group I've selected. Move them to land. And let's see, let's find a good spot to farm these amber crystals. Maybe like right here? Well, we're out of movement, so I guess we're going to do it where we're at. 2 best gatherers on there, 1 on that. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so now the ship can continue to move around. We'll come back around and get these guys here in a second. We did complete another one of these, so let's check our inventory real quick and throw this on the appropriate person. There we go. And then we'll get 1 more suit for her. We can go ahead and destroy that. We don't need that anymore. We're out of movement. Yeah, this is really nice that we can just keep these people on research indefinitely while we're moving around. Alright. So we've got some more of that. Alright, we found the scavenger party, or the scavenger faction. You are approached by an odd company of three. The first, an elf, introduces themselves as Angel. The second is a fat goblin with a gray beard and a red coat, who tells you he is Mikulas. The last one is clearly a Zort riding his white goat. They bow and ask to join your campsite. Agree. Welcome, exclaims Mikulas. Each one of us can offer you a duel of sorts, a splendid game to be sure. The goblin is eerily cheerful while the elf remains aloof, and the Zort, well, it stares at you with mischief. Okay, so we can do a concept challenge. This is another one of those things that's probably going to give us a blessing in that particular color. We could politely decline and offer them food instead. I think we're actually really good at yellow and purple challenges now with our characters. One of the problems I have though is I'm not 100% sure which group this is for. Let's view which group it is. Okay, it's this group. This group is probably going to be best in combat. But I'm not sure we can arm wrestle a Zord. Let's offer them some food instead. They want 20 food. Well, that's a problem. We barely have 20 food. Alright. That's 8. 9, 10, 11. We're only at 16. We're gonna have to cancel. We can't do that. We don't have our purple characters with us. Whew. Alright. Well, let's hope that our two combat characters can pull this off. This is total defeat. Let's see what we can do. One of the things that we have going for us in this challenge is, as long as we survive and win, man, he's kind of useless. As long as we survive and win, we don't take any damage at the end. Gonna have to play her twice. front. And boy, I don't know. How many points do I have left? 3? I got 1 plus 2 more. I can play her a second time and then I can play one other character. Alright. So I can either give more shielding to the characters I have, and then I can hurry somebody up to get their attack off faster. Yeah, that doesn't actually do anything, so... okay, so I get my choice of target. But not in this case. Because she's got somebody in front of her. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't do much. I could do 15 damage to that, or 15 damage to that. If both these characters do 15 damage to that, then this thing should die. Right? And so these won't get their attacks off. Let's do that. Oh, yeah, she has to attack this. Dang it. Alright. Don't have a choice on that attack. This attack we do. So that will kill that one outright. Alright, so she's down. And now we gotta go through another combat round. Put him there, and we'll put her there. And we'll see what they do. I don't think this is going to go our way. Alright. She doesn't have any other active targets. It's not going to be enough to kill it, so it's going to get another attack off, and it's going to kill her. toast. Alright, well, we got a physical curse. Unfortunately, that's bad, but that's not the end of the world. It does mean that we're very much in danger of being overrun in a red combat, so I think we need to bring our boat back. Unfortunately, we are out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. We might have gotten a little bit over our heads by splitting up our group, but we kind of needed to do it and just see if we could, so I think we'll be okay if I can get my boat back quickly enough. So, end the video for today. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. This has been the Nose Plays, and y'all have a great evening.